It's been a minute since we checked in with the doc, so let's take ourselves a moment in the midst of all the Warzone 2 headlines, all the excitement, take a step back and focus on Warzone Season 2, which Dr. Disrespect tried out a little bit, had some fun with, but ultimately came to some unfortunate conclusions about as he continues to struggle with this game that on some levels, like many of us, he still loves, but on many levels he still just can't quite get into. It was the usual caliber of play fans have come to expect, exploring the new landscape of Season 2 and all its new features, including things like the redeploy balloons, which have been pretty well received. The Doc stream shows are putting down a solid performance, enjoying himself to a certain degree, and ultimately finding himself unable to get hooked.
I'd love to see you run one on Resurgence. This Bradley Morton, Bradley, I am literally not even interested right now in Call of Duty. It's insane. This might be the least interested I am in the game. Dude, I don't know, man. It just must be the way the game looks and the fiction of the game right now and the design of this map that I'm just not in it. I'm not in it. I can't get in it. I haven't gotten in it since this map was introduced. I gotta put it on the map for right now.
While he's no stranger to having games come and go when it comes to his tolerance level for them, he's had frustrations with games that he maintains are good, and of course he's given stern words to even games he claims to love. His frustrations with Warzone have been pretty consistent and ultimately resulted in relatively short dives here and there in recent times. He swapped with Tarkov that same stream, which hasn't escaped criticism from him either, but it's also gotten plenty of praise. The situation with Warzone is different, with even a relatively clean run, and I do say relatively, leaving him pretty wanting. But this again is not entirely uncommon a thing to go through with Dr. Disrespect. He has given his strong opinions on various titles before. He's had falling outs with Warzone plenty of times up until now, as many of us have. But it's important to keep this in mind as we enter this new sphere of Warzone 2 coming up, because while that's not going to be the end of the first Warzone, our current Warzone, it is going to be potentially Season 2. Just might be the last hurrah, the last really big update in terms of content, in terms of things being added, in terms of the excitement before Warzone 2 launches. If it sticks to its release date of sometime this year, we're probably not going to see another massive jump like Warzone 2 before the end of 2022. In which case, this is, aside from small drip feeds of things here and there, aside from the usual kinds of updates we're used to with Warzone, just about gonna be it. And that means whatever Warzone 2 launches with whatever features, whatever balance, whatever guns, whatever map, they're all going to be in direct competition with the first Warzone. You can't get more direct in the space that already has a lot of competition among BR fans. You can't get more direct than literally another game in the series from the same franchise, but understandably so, a different developer, Infinity Ward rather than Raven Software. A lot of folks, Dr. Disrespect included, just might make the switch and never look back, assuming Infinity Ward can set themselves apart from their previous installment while still maintaining all the excitement, all the things, still delivering on a lot of the promises that people feel were either unanswered in the first Warzone or overshadowed by technical issues, bugs, and all sorts of other controversies.
I'm throwing bombs.
I'm smoking bombs.
At the very least, with COD fans' attention soon to be split between the two, the Warzone we've known up until now only has so much time left to establish itself well enough to hopefully retain some of the Caldera lovers and hopefully convince a few detractors to return. Well, it seems like it might be a little bit unlikely that Dr. Disrespect is going to be singing the praises of the island map anytime soon. Hopefully they can end on a high note despite all of the difficulties of the course of this game's very, very troubled development cycle. And speaking of fans of Warzone, I turn it over to you folks in the comment section down below. I know a lot of you at this point have said goodbye to Warzone and ready to never look back, but for those of you who are 100% not returning to the first Warzone, are you looking forward to Warzone 2? Do you have greater confidence in the game to come? But those of you who are sticking with Warzone, do you feel like there is enough time for them to clean up their act and get that game back into the state that everybody's hoping it could one day be in before Warzone 2 launches and inevitably takes a few eyes away from them, takes some of that audience away? Once again, drop a comment down below, and as we rage on into 2022, which is looking to be absolutely wild with more coming in terms of Warzone 2, other BRs in the space, we got Apex, we got Fortnite still with big plans for the future. There's a lot going down in 2022, and I'll be there with a new video each and every time something wild pops off. But until then, thank you for watching once again, and I will talk to you next time.